I have to ask you, first of all, congratulations on the film. And what was your immediate reaction when you discovered that Roland Emmerich wanted to make a film 20 years later to revisit this?
Yeah, well, it was somewhat predicted, so a few times. So the one actually was probably maybe a year and a half ago when we were talking about coming back to do the sequel. I realized once I got into the meeting level, talking about script, meeting new writers, that it was really going to happen. It was quite exciting.
Yeah, I'm sure it's really exciting, and I have to, I want to know. Just let the viewers know what's going on. Well, it's 20 years later. Where is President Whitmore now?
Well, the world has kind of bonded together in a federation, one government, one army, and Whitmore is ex-president in that he much revered by the country, and but has in fact had to be somewhat kind of isolated because he's a different guy. He said suffered some trauma in the first one, and you realize he's a little bit on the ropes mentally and trying to keep stable because he has these reoccurring nightmares that they're going to come back, and no one believes him.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I would too. Wouldn't you know? You would have those nightmares. I would think you've been through some trauma.
Yes. Once they get in your brain and start, putting their messages out, you realize that's going to be a rough
aliens,
night.
I tell you.
Yeah.
So when you go into hiding, when you retire, when you're taking it easy and trying to relax, I have to ask, what is with this Dave Letterman beard? Like, what is going on with that? Is this a requirement now? People, when they retire, they have to grow these white bushy beards?
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, and Jay Leno grew a beard, I think, too, when he retired. But and then I heard the other day there was some talk of him being called the achievement beard, and so you've achieved something, you get to have a beard, and so. But I think Roland had was a kind of wanted to think about that idea, and then I had done a project where I had grown a beard. So when I did the wardrobe fitting, I had a beard, and he looked at those pictures. He said, "We got to keep this. We got to make this work."
It works. It totally works. Now, of course, as you say, you're not the president anymore, but now we've got a female president. We have Sela Ward playing the president. And so how much advice are you giving her? Are you there kind of to guide her through? I mean, you are the expert on aliens, so how does that work?
Well, the thing about new presidents is they tend to think they've got it better and figured out things better than previous presidents. So I didn't have to tell her a lot, but she is great to work with. Sela has good sense of fun about being presidents together. And she's got some challenges.
It works out. It really works out. Now, also in this course, we've got people some actors obviously who were in the first one. What was it like on set to be reunited with, like Jeff Goldblum, people who were in the first film?
Well, it's really kind of like you're working with relatives or something. You've kind of existed with them in this family that lived and still kind of gets rebooted every time you see the movie, and then to get back together with them, I really savor all the nature of actors, and particularly if you've known them for a long period of time. And Jeff and Brent Spiner, who I worked with mostly, are the people that came back, I think are two terrific people, so it's great to have their company.
Kind of like going back to summer camp of 20 years later.
Yeah, with more toys and more games, better games.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then, of course, there's the new people in the film, people like, Liam Hemsworth, and then Jesse Usher. Tell me a little bit about him, because, of course, he's playing, the character of Will Smith's son in this. So how did you like working with someone like him?
Well, Jesse is really a fantastic person. He's very positive. He's really engaging to talk to. He enjoys his work, and it's been fun to do publicity with him. He's always kind of animated and curious about everything, and he had a lot on his shoulders to kind of measure up to his father, Will, and I think he really is up to the task. He's got a kind of quiet confidence inside him that really is strong and helpful for how he portrays the part.
Yeah, I think audiences are going to be very impressed with that. And I want to ask you, Bill, after all these years, and when you're in a film like this with so much special effects. I mean, this one even surpasses. Obviously, technology has changed and everything is different. But does it still, when you sit in the theater and you watch these movies, does it still blow you away?
Yeah, it really is. You realize how many thousands of people go into making a movie now, and all the CGI and the computer work, and it's just it is kind of mind blowing. See it all put together. Yeah, when you're working opposite nothing and then you see it all put together, I would think even after all these years it would be something really cool to do. Yeah. I remember one scene where I'm going through a hangar and it was just an empty room with blue all around and some, few mechanics kind of walking back and forth, but no aircraft. And I had to run, and I had marks on the floor where I would duck to avoid the nose of a plane that wasn't there. And it's great to do something like that and then see it actually put in with all the aircraft and everything. It's kind of a little magic. Good stuff. Yeah, Roland Emmerich, he's good at what he does. There's no question about that. Yeah. Really strong. He's the best. I have to ask you, I mean, I've been watching you on film for so many years, and I want to know from you, what was the role, the movie that changed your life forever for you? Oh, well, I think they've all had different, they've contributed to my life in different ways. And, the experience of the locations where you shoot them, sometimes being in wonderful places. I think of in Canada, some of the amazing places where Lake Placid we shot in Canada, and some beautiful places around Vancouver, and Saskatchewan made a movie called Surveillance that was really curious there. And, sometimes it's these environments that I feel so fortunate to be in a profession that lets me see so many different places that have such beauty and such a great character of the people that are there. Yeah, well, we'd like to have you come back to Toronto, so you're welcome here anytime. Ah, great. Yeah, I love Toronto very much. So. Good stuff. Yeah. Well, Bill, congratulations. It's great to see you back on the big screen. I know we'll see lots more from you coming up. But, best of luck to you with everything, and always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend. Ah, good to talk to you, Bonnie.